Alright, so the votes have been tallied. Things have been going. And it was a runaway. Came down to everybody wanting to watch a trading nation, effectively. And between Holland and the Hansa, Burgundy only got one vote. Bavaria only got one, or none, actually. It got a, hey, that would be kind of cool, but I'd rather watch this. Apparently no one likes pretzels. And the winner was clear. Now, starting with Swedish steel. Now, there is a lot to absorb here. First things first. Let's just send all of our merchants to Lubeck. Now, when it comes to sliders, it's pretty obvious the way we want to go. Right now, we're a very mercantilist nation, and it's really hurting us because although it's given us great bonuses for competing in our own provinces, it's not helping us compete in other people's. We want to go to free trade. That's the first thing that we want to do, is to get this slider all the way over to free trade. There's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, and foremost, it is to reduce merchant costs, increase compete chance overseas, increase our trade range, increase the number of merchants we get, all of that. But on top of that, it'll move us closer to this. We want this because the statute of monopolies gives us trade efficiency bonus, production efficiency bonus. It does reduce our stability cost, and free trade gains 1. We'll probably end up getting that right about here on the slider. Anyway, let's just move it. We lose 3 merchants. We don't have any merchants, so I don't really care. As with always, whenever in Europe, crank government tech investment first so that we can get that first national idea. Magistrates, we're not really going to use them very much initially, so let's just commission a painting. Wow, he is a military genius. We're going to replace him, though, because we'd rather have administrative skill. However, we are going to convert him to a general, because he's a fucking fantastic general, and put him in charge of the army of Lubeck. See what we got for great men here. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. That's not too bad. Don't care. Ugh. Alright, these guys are all terrible. But we're going to take the investment ones, just because it's a bonus. And we'll actually take this inflation reduction guy. We're not actually going to use him to mint. He'll have a purpose. Eventually. The big thing that we're doing here is all of our technology is going to be really cheap because we're just a 3-province minor. Annoyingly, we've got a gap between all of them. Hopefully, this will get swallowed by them. They are a vassal of Denmark. So hopefully, Denmark will absorb them so that we can get an event to take Holstein away from Denmark. Since we're not going to be doing anything militarily for a very long time, we're just going to stop paying for it. We don't need it. Let's get the Spanish steel. And now, let's look at the nuts and bolts of what our game is going to be, because we're a merchant republic. This is the trade map mode. I haven't really showed you this in the previous game. Because it didn't really matter. It was unimportant because we didn't use it. As you can see, they're divided by color. This is Ile-de-France. This is Andalusia, so on and so forth. This is all Venice. This is all Genoa. This is all Novgorod. This is all somewhere we can't see, and so on and so forth. Now, what we want to do is make as much of this color, especially with the white lines through it, by making them all members of our trade league. I want to start off first by inviting Poland to the trade league because they're right there. They're huge. They have a lot of cloth. They're very good people to include into our trade league. I would also like to get Bohemia, but I would like Poland first. And probably Venice is going to grab Bohemia. And let's now get the initial turn a couple days off. Okay, that gives us more merchants, more money. See, Venice got Bohemia. Munster always breaks our thing. Poland signed our trade proposal. Did we get a new mission yet? No mission yet. Polish grain trade. This will give us a trade tech investment of +5 forever. So we're, of course, going to send that to them. And as you can see, I've got a whole lot of pop-ups coming up for people joining trade leagues and signing trade leagues. There's a lot of message rules. If you're playing one of these guys, you don't need to have them in there, but I like to have them in there. And that is to make sure that you... Can I have the grain, please? Thank you. End the sound toll. This, along with the Polish grain trade, these are two of the single most important things to get as the Hansa, because the Polish grain trade gives you +5 technology into trade every month forever. Ending the sound toll makes all of your trade worth more, and it boosts your trade income, which is a huge deal. So we're going to do that. We're going to make a big focus on that. It hurts to do it right now because other people are going to be swallowing up other nations into their trade leagues while we're doing it. But we need to do it. It's very, very key. And basically all we're going to do is just bribe the living shit out of Denmark to get them up to as close to 200 as possible. And end the sound toll, and that will increase our income dramatically. Alright, next we're going to go to Antwerpen, which is right there. Hopefully seal that up, because trade is going to be our main income source. As you can see, it's already catching up to taxes. The early game with Lübeck is a lot of this. It's a lot of diplomatic wrangling, a lot of gaining missions just to get some money, get some trade going, get people into Lübeck. Never have to worry about our stability. It'll go up fast enough on its own, at least for right now, because we're a very small nation. Sure would love to get more diplomats every year. They absorbed Hainaut. The end is nigh. The next time that mission comes up, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story about it. Nice. Alright, and that ends the sound toll. Create an army for our nation. Not right now. Just not right now. Alright, now we're going to start sealing up a lot of these, as many of these nations as we can. I try to seal them all up so that we have access to them. One of the first ones I want to get is Lithuania. Because Lithuania is huge, although they're going to have a real problem, just in general. But that's not my problem. That's their problem. Bam! First try. Gotta love that. Why are you still trading that through Novgorod? And the reason that we're commissioning paintings is because we're going to get some really solid great men, and then we're going to use great men to increase our income for quite a while. So we're just sealing up these ones that are in risky places to go over to enemies. Come on, little merchants. Get better. Okay. Trading in cloth. And each one of those gives us an advantage in... Come join our trade league. Maybe I should ask Lorraine. If I ever get another fucking diplomat. It's got to be 0.999999999. Unlikely. Can I get trade rights from you? Maybe. Yes. Ah, you signed a trade lead compact with them. Well, that's really so sad for you. Because, you know, I've got trade rights, exclusive trade rights for all of their crap. So we're going to continue sealing up as many of these as we can along the border and then move inside. We're never going to get Munster back. Munster, they're too close to Antwerpen to be willing to trade their cloth with us. So they will never really accept a trade agreement unless I force them to join a trade compact. But then they'll just break it again as soon as the peace treaty ends. Because they're dicks. Now our stability's at max. Hessians joined our trade league. Next I'm going to take Ratibor, even though they're smaller. The reason I want to take Ratibor is because of the fact that they are likely to go to Venice if I don't grab them first. Then we're going to start working on some of these Irish nations. Lübeck's up there worth a lot. Now there's two advantages to that. First of all, of course, there's the direct trade one, but also look at what it does to the taxes. The level of the center of trade gives a bonus to the amount of taxes received. And Lübeck ends up becoming a ridiculously high tax province, strictly because of that. Especially if we can get this to be spiraling out of control. I mean, it's already up to 12.8 or 1280, so we're getting pretty good at that. Yes, kitty, I hear you. Cat's over there crying. Let's try to get them. Maybe? Yes. I think next we'll try to get the Irish. Lauenburg feels threatened by us, so they're not very likely. We'll just ignore that. They're not very likely. Stability cost is worth less to me than 112 tech in this. Because 112 tech in this is, what, 6 months? And stability is kind of expensive, but doesn't hurt me that badly, really. Start with you. No. You don't wanna. We'll see about that. Who are you going to war with, Bremen? Oh, Riga, the Teutonic Order. That is a lot of not my problem. Really, Bohemia, you didn't come to their aid? Oh, you got your own fucking problems. Alright, it looks like we're going to have to bribe them up to get them to join the Trade League. So we'll do so. Send him some cash. We have to do something about that. Okay. We get a national idea. First things first. Let's next move to production so that we can get constables. And now let's talk about national ideas here. There's only one national idea that really matters to Lübeck, the Hansa, this early in the game. A lot of people will want to take shrewd commerce practice, but our merchants are strong enough, and they're going to get stronger every time we get a national slider. What we want is national trade policy, because that is going to increase our success rate with trading, because trade efficiency does, and on top of that, it's going to increase our income. So we want to do that right now, first and foremost, more than anything else. Let's send you guys some cash. And, oh, hey, we gotta send out more guys. Put an Novgorod. Even though they're probably going to ban us from trading with them for in a little bit. But right now, go to Novgorod. And now they join the Trade League. I want to finish up the British Isles. And then we're going to finish up the Germans here. We're going to start with the ones that are not going to us. And then we're going to be pretty good for a little while. We'll probably scoop up some other little nations here and there, but for right now it's not going to be a big deal. Brandenburg and Luxembourg. Alright, we'll bribe you. We'll bribe you. Cool with that. We're not going to build churches, because we don't care about churches. We're not big enough to worry about the stability cost. We will in the future. Yeah, let's take the bureaucratic candidate. What's that going to give us? Not exceptional. But he's better than the other guy. Well, not really. Let's convert him to a general just in case we need to get him killed. I mean, what? President General Pants. Please go forth and die. Here's some money. Really? God, our new guy sucks. Diplomatically. I would rather he sucked at military. I reduced the number of merchants we get by a lot too, didn't it? Yeah. Or trade, not merchants, fucking diplomats. Yup. Good. All that's left is Munster versus Munster. 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 So January of next year, we'll be able to start building constables. Fan-fucking-tastic. And now basically what we're doing here is we're locking up Lubeck to be the premier place to trade in Europe. It's going to be our primary goal this early on. Fantastic. Now we just got to get the rest of the German states. Lithuania is in kind of a testy position this early in the game. I have to get trade rights from them. Reason Lithuania is in a testy position is they're going to be at war with the Golden Horde every 10 years. There's nothing that they can do about it. Wait, when do I get that? January, so I'll just wait. Fuck. I wanted to steal Ansbach from them. Okay, now we got constables. So let's build one of those. First in Lubeck. And then change over to trade. Whatever. Declined. You silly bastards. Novgorod is a difficult place for our merchants to compete. go. Now we got trade rights. They're more likely to join our trade compact. Avignon, Venice, and Salzburg. I love the fact that you're part of the Venetian League, but it doesn't matter because you're already trading through mine. Love it. Likely to join, and you did. Now we can build marketplaces. We're not going to do that yet, though. We're going to build the constables first, then we're going to build the marketplaces. Naval up to 4. Going to swallow up these last 4 German states. Lauenburg is unlikely to join. Munster will never join. So I'm going to try swallowing up these last little bits. What are you doing? Nothing. Conquer Luxembourg. Are you actually going to conquer Luxembourg? Look at all these fucking wars. It's insanity. Really kind of sucks to be Lithuania, because you're in a personal union with Poland, who's a military powerhouse, and takes advantage of the fact that they have you wrapped up in a personal union. And so forces you into all of these crazed wars. And again, remember, if it's red, or if it's got the X in there, you won't try to send any merchants automatically. If you have it on red, it will send up to 3. If you have it on yellow, it will send up to 5. If you have it on green, it prioritizes it over yellow, and will try to get a monopoly in there, 6 merchants, if you have the technology for it. So right now we're picking which ones we're going to monopolize later on. And I'm going to adjust those in the future. But right now, they're pretty good to just monopolize the really expensive ones. Join my trade league. Oh, you fucking douchebags. We knew it was an inevitability, though. If they're trading through another trade league, generally they will drop your trade. If they're members of a different trade league, generally they will break your trade rights inevitably. Meissen I picked over Anhalt because iron is worth more than wool. That's the entire reason. I'm really hoping that Bohemia breaks that trade league compact. All the constables are locked up.